What up, guys? It's your boy, Strictly Broken here, Yui from the Strictly Broken YouTube channel. We're not doing a Vanguard podcast today. I know we usually have this set up. Tom, producer, in the background, doing everything. I'm here. Different room, actually. I moved out of that apartment. But yeah, we're here today to do a Weiss podcast. Super exciting. We have a fantastic cast with me today, and Christian. Just chilling in the corner. Well, guys, why don't you introduce yourselves real quick? Any order's fine. Christian, you can go first.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'm Christian. The people who are watching this video probably know me anyway. So
Speak up.
Okay, sorry, Mr. Producer. I'm gonna speak louder. Yeah, and we're gonna talk to you about like what happened over the year and what our plans are for the year and about Worlds.
Hi, my name is Koen. You probably know me for playing SEO, and yeah. Ryan?
Yeah, I'm Ryan. I'm a no-name. I won Toronto with Konosuba, and that's all I've ever done with my life.
He's also not here with us because his cat killed his camera or something.
Dang. Wait, Ryan topped with Summer Pockets last year. He was like the first top ever with Summer Pockets, right? That's something. That's
Like
something
last
cool.
Nats?
Yeah, last year. Yeah.
There was 2 other Summer Pockets in top 16 with me.
Dude, I'm the.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, there were a lot of summer pockets last year too.
Yeah,
Summer Pockets won both regions this year too for some reason.
The XOP. All right, but today we are not talking about Japanese unless Summer Pockets gets announced for English. We are talking about the World Championships for English. This is all there's 3 members of our Strictly Broken Weiss Pro team here, and the 4th guy who unfortunately did not qualify, Broderick. Shoutouts to you. I love you. But yeah, today I brought these guys on board today to talk about Worlds and to have a discussion about it. And our predictions, what we think is good, just to give you guys who are viewing the event like a little bit of a breakdown, a little bit of a, what is it called? A little bit of a almanac. Is that the word, Tom? I don't know. Like a little bit of a guidance of how you should be perceiving the event. First and foremost, before I continue, a guide. There you go, a guide. That's the perfect word. Before I continue, 2020 New Year's, very exciting. I want to briefly shamelessly plug the new Strictly Broken TCG website, which is the first step to our transition into our new card shop. Really exciting. We're expanding the shop. It's going to be like 7 times the size of the old shop, multiple stories high. It's really cool. It's really exciting. Most of my time has been caught up doing that. But yeah, you can check out the new website. The same URL from before, links to the current website, but you can also use sbtcg.ca or strictlybrokentcg.ca to get all your English Weiss Schwarz, Vanguard, and now Pokemon needs. So super excited about that. And I think that's it for just brief introductions, guys. Let's head straight. Do you guys actually know? Do you guys want to talk about introduce yourselves and clarify why you guys are here? What events did you top? You want to do that? You guys want to do that? Don't think it's needed. Okay. Well, okay.
You tried to make a transition, but
I try to make a transition. But yeah, okay.
You can still do the achievements from this year.
Okay, sure. So why don't we just go around talking about each other's achievements? I guess I'll start it off. I have 0 achievements for Weiss. I'm not going to Worlds for Weiss. I'm going there for Vanguard. Not important. Vanguard's a better game. Sorry, guys. Yeah, let's pass it along.
Sure. I got top 8 in. No, wait. What was it? In Rome. Top 3 in Lisbon, and then top 8 in UK, in London. And then, if we count JP, I got 4th for the European WHP finals.
All right. What decks did you play?
For English, I only played ReZero, and for JP, I played Million Life.
Right.
So ReZero one trick.
Oh, I said it in my intro already. I topped the Toronto regionals with Konosuba. I didn't play in Japanese this year. I was too busy practicing English and going to English events, so I don't have any accomplishments in that.
All right.
Paid off. You won. So cool. Koen, sorry.
Yeah. So my name's Koen, and I won the London regional with SEO, and yeah.
All right,
SEO
awesome.
one trick.
SEO one trick. But he didn't play SEO. This is important to know. He did not play SEO for the whole season. That was the only tournament he played it in, and he won the event. So truly a one trick. Truly a one trick. That just proves it. Sorry, man. Okay, so awesome, guys. So as you can see, distinguished cast here, 2 winners and another guy. Yeah, let's move straight into the Worlds topic. So Worlds is coming up in 3 weeks' time. We're all headed off to Japan early to
It's
do
2
some
weeks'
testing.
time.
2
Yeah.
weeks' time, actually. Yeah, but we're all going to Japan to do testing. Worlds events. I think all 3 of us, 3 of us have gone to Worlds many times. Ryan, this will be your first time. I actually just want to quickly ask you, like, are you excited? Are you nervous? What are you expecting out of Worlds? Because it is your first time.
Like out of the actual tournament itself.
Yeah, tournament itself. Yeah.
I'm not really expecting very much. Like I'm kind of going into Worlds like expecting something like a WGP regional. So just like 30 people, feels sort of like a locals, not super serious, not super competitive. Like I could be wrong, but that's what I'm expecting.
Not super competitive, huh?
I feel like every year. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, I should clarify. Like, feels super competitive. So you know how like you go into or not WGP, you go into like BCS. There's like 150 plus people, and like it feels like a super serious card game tournament. Yeah, like because Worlds is like on a smaller scale, I don't think it's gonna have that sort of feeling.
Well,
Continue, go Chris.
Similar to like our WGP finals is also like 50 people if that are qualified. It was even like 4 or 5 years ago we were 12 people for the finals. That's like actually small scale, and now we're like between 30 and 50 usually qualified. And Waltz is similar to that. But this year is the first time Waltz actually has like a prize, right? Because the winner gets invited next year.
Yeah, that is true. So like that adds to the competitiveness of the actual tournament. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really expecting too much, but I could be wrong.
The competitiveness might be heightened. This is the first year of Worlds where, for Weiss Schwarz specifically, there are multiple teams, quote unquote teams, competing against each other. Right? We have the Strictly Broken TCG Pro team. We have Reality Check. We have ENTCG. There might be some more, but right. So there's teams competing, and I really want one of you guys to win, but like it's cool that teams are competing.
Theoretically competing last year too. Like
yeah, but there was no other. It's just
yes.
Okay. I see what you mean. Ian was there. Yeah, that's true. And Ian TCG did win. So, but last year was like less formal, right? This year there's almost something at stake. But I have a 3-1 odds against Ian TCG, so I like those odds. So it's good. 3-1, I think so.
Oh, true.
Yeah, it's 3-1. None isn't playing this year, so.
Kuhn, what's some of your thoughts about the competitiveness this year? What are you feeling?
I feel like I went to Worlds 3 times in a row. I do feel like every year it does get more competitive because like you get to play more decks. Because like the meta used to be like SEO, AOT kind of thing, right? But now they're like much more viable decks to play, and I think especially since like they have this new price support, right? Where if you win Worlds, you actually get a sponsored invite for next year Worlds. So you actually have something to play for, and that makes it like indirectly more like competitive, in my opinion. And yeah,
more competitive. I feel like so onto your point that it keeps getting more competitive every year. A lot of people tell me, because I won Worlds like what 4 years ago, 3 years ago. People told me I won at a time when no one gave a shit about the game.
That's actually true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Calm down, man. Calm down. Let's okay. Anyways, I don't want to. Okay, fuck you guys. But what is it? So what is creating this like tension, this hype? Like what is creating more hype as the years go on for Weiss Schwarz? Like what are the elements? Do you think it's like the social media? Do you think it's the do you guys have any thoughts on this?
I think their official social media is like kind of not really present, or like not well present, because like they don't upload the results in a quick fashion or anything. Like most of the results of the season are in fact still missing, but it's just more players attend and more players, I guess, care about the game more than before. Because
Yeah,
like
the
BCS
meta.
is actually like has prices and you can play more decks than just AOT and SAO now. And like before, English was treated as a joke in Europe. Like if you like, why would you play English? English is just for like noobs that don't want to read JP cards. I don't know. Like it actually had that image in Europe. That's why nobody played English. But I think starting with the season where I got second place, like 2017, I think.
All right, weird
Like,
flex,
people
but
started-
okay.
Yeah, no, like that season is when people started like taking it more seriously because I think that's when people realized, oh, you can actually just win a tournament and like fly to Japan for free. But back then it was still just SAO and AOT, kind of, sort of, and now it's like if there's more decks that are playable, I think more players are actually like drawn into it. So I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, I actually think like the biggest point is the meta and like the amount of like viable decks that you can take to a tournament and like see at a tournament. It's like back in the day when it was just SAO and AOT and the game was like pretty stale, like the drive to play and like get better was a lot lower than what it is now.
Also, like people just didn't like. If you don't like SEO or AOT, why would you play the game? There are so many new players around now, and there's like a lot of trash talk in the discords. I guess kind of makes it more hype. I guess like we call each other's region like trash or whatever. You're fucking trash, whatever. And
Yeah,
I
sorry.
yeah. But anyway, it's just I don't know. People just take it more serious because you want to prove you're not bad.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. No, but okay, let's be real. NA is better than you. It's like there's not even an argument there. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Ryan's gonna win the whole thing. If I had to bet, dude, I would put money that Ryan wins the whole thing. Go. Let's fucking go.
Yikes.
Yikes! Too much pressure.
So
No, but
how many people of the team make top 8?
That's an interesting question. Is it top 8 this year? I hope it's not top 4.
It's
Who
top eight.
knows? Wait, is
Dude,
the top
okay.
8 confirmed?
Confirmed?
It should
It's
be,
not
yeah.
confirmed, but it was always top 8, right? So
No.
No.
Remember, I got bubbled out of top 4 that year. I was 5th
Out of top 8.
because it was
Yeah.
cut to top 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
wait, really? Oh,
The
fuck.
year the year before last year. Yeah.
Right.
The year where he
That's
got
fine.
second.
Bubble out.
Dude, see, Kuhn always says I scrubbed that tournament. Like, Kuhn always tells people I scrubbed that
No,
tournament.
I didn't
did
say
well.
you scrubbed that tournament. What the fuck? You
No,
scrubbed
but-
last
but you were-
year
But you
against
were,
Europeans,
you were
I
like,
guess. Against
but
you.
that
You
year
lost
was
to
a
me
good example.
in the last round.
Okay.
That year was a good example because like there were I think 8 players bringing AOT to the tournament and like top 10 was 7 AOT.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. I mean, I like that. That was my favorite English format that has ever existed, and I wish we could get back to that. But I think that's a controversial point, so I don't want to talk about that too much. So, what was the question? How many strictly broken players do I think? I'd say you guys could all make it. I think you guys are the best of the bunch. I don't want to like call out other teams, but compared to the other competition, there's 3 of the best players in the world right here in this call, and Christian. So, like, I think you guys are more than fine. And then Christian, you might make top 8 if your round 4 opponent dies or something. But
I mean I made tops the last 2 times, one on this one.
all right, but yeah, so
No,
Worlds.
you're not there to like kill me in tops, so
That's true. I'm not there playing KC, dude. Okay,
Hi,
okay.
Christian.
Let's talk
I'll see
about
you
this
in
meta game a little bit. Let's not talk about competitive anymore. Let's actually talk about this meta game a little bit. So you guys all took different decks to your regional BCSs. You guys all, I guess in some sense, you guys are all known as these one. I guess Ryan not so much, but he is theoretically a one trick. He only played this one tournament with Konosuba and such. What does the meta look like, Tom? Do we have the graphic of the tier list that we put out? So guys, let's talk about this meta a little bit. We had a brief discussion before this call, just to be on the same page a little bit about what we think is the meta. Guys, why do you think? I think what stands out to be immediately Bunny Senpai. Let's talk about Bunny Senpai. So Bunny Senpai, I have not heard. I don't think I've gone like a day without seeing someone mention how Bunny Senpai is just so OP in English. Why is this so low on our list?
Should I start? Because I'm probably the one who put it there.
I mean, does anybody disagree?
Does anyone disagree?
Yeah, does anyone disagree?
Like
Yeah,
on
I think
the
it should be.
placement?
I think it should be D tier.
I
Oh my God.
if I had to disagree with something, I think I'd rather play GGO over Bunny Girl Senpai.
Does that have to do with its tiering though?
Well, Bunny Girl is like tiered up higher. I'm like, yeah.
Well, like
Yeah.
you can definitely feel more comfortable playing a lower tier deck.
Okay,
than a deck
not
in S
comfortable.
tier, right?
Yeah, not comfortable. I think GGO is a better deck than Bunny Girl Senpai for
Okay.
English.
All right, then you start, Ryan. Okay, Ryan has this hot take. Let's go, Ryan. Well, it's not even a hot
What?
take. We agree. Okay, Ryan, you start. I'm putting you on the spot. Why is Bunny Senpai this low in our strictly broken TCG rank?
Well, I think like the main thing that we can agree upon is that it's low because you're playing standby, right? Yeah. Huh? Chris?
Well, that's a big part of the reason. Like the deck is just not well positioned. I don't think it has like any positive matchups in like all of the top decks.
So yeah, like the English
Standby
meta right
is like
now.
the extra thing.
Yeah, so well, what I think it is that like the English meta right now, like the top decks are super aggressive. Like Fate's super aggressive, AOT can be super aggressive, Konosuba is pretty aggressive. So like when you're playing standby and you're running against like an aggressive deck, you fall too far behind and you just can't catch up. So like the deck always plays from behind and it never actually is able to just catch up.
I think like AOTs might be like the best one of the bunch. Like the best matchup for Bunny Girl because the bodyguard is actually scales really highly, but you don't get your reverses with your level 1 combos.
Yeah,
so
you fall way too far behind at level 1.
Yeah.
Like you don't get your reverses, so you have to bank on hitting like standbys or like door triggers and like setting on
and,
your
like,
tutus.
At level 2, like AOT can still just use the field swap or the Aaron early play to like just keep pushing, and Bunny Girl just can't catch up. And I do think like the book deck is a lot better than the standby deck, but like I don't think I've seen anybody play that, so I think that's.
I mean, looking back at the results, only standby has topped, I think. And
Yeah, but it was only out for 2 regionals, so.
yeah, true.
And honestly, like I know the players that topped with the deck, and I haven't lost like I won against both of them. In
This
Swiss.
guy's just flexing the whole time. This guy's just flexing. Like
No,
nice
like,
flex, bro. But
I
no.
don't think the decks just ran into like either good matchups or like your opponent's break. I don't think it's any indicative of like standby is the build. I think for English, it's like even more so the standby is just not well positioned.
Okay, so I'm
And-
gonna sorry, Kun, do you wanna I'm just gonna flip this discussion around a bit. People
Yeah.
say the highlight of Bunny Senpai is the top end, how it like has a lot of sustain, it can't even die, and you just outgrind people. Counter that argument right now because
Okay, so
that's the strength, right? So
Can I do it?
find a counter to that argument.
can I do it?
Sure, go ahead.
Wait, no,
So-
I
so
think you
Fate-
should.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Fate
what's
just
that?
either bounces. Okay, cool.
No, but I think like Christian. I think Ryan should do it actually.
I should do it.
Yeah, you should do it.
Like
I think
okay.
it gets like kind of generic if if Yabi does it right.
Okay,
That's
well,
true.
so,
This
so
guy's
when
biased.
you're saying the strength, are you talking about like the early plays, or are you talking about like the bodyguard kind of stuff?
The bodyguard coupled with the one cost early play, coupled with the heal, just all that together is like a sustained end game that
Mm.
people just say that the deck can't die. It has a hard time dying. So counter that. Why do you think it is actually strong? Or are you just saying standby? Like what is
So
What is your
I
argument?
think like the early plays of the deck are pretty strong. It's just the deck is too slow that it doesn't abuse them properly because it's never able to actually catch up from the turn it plays its standby. So you don't actually get the value out of playing multiple early plays over multiple turns. Like the bodyguard is strong and it does deal with like AOT. But if you look at the other two decks in S, like Konosuba you play the Stock Soul Megumin and it ignores it. Fate you play the Bouncer, you ignore it. So it's like it's not well positioned in the meta.
Bang Dream scales over it if they play like Yukino, and ReZero just has Reinhardt to completely out it. So
okay, fair.
SAO
I mean,
SAO can't out it to be fair, but that's like the only deck that can't out it, and like
Yeah.
AOT.
But SAO also doesn't care.
yeah,
is
SEO doesn't really care. I mean,
Well,
you kind of have to cancel
yeah.
cancel the pings or whatever. You have to cancel, and yeah, the most important thing is to basically to
I think
cancel,
Well,
and you
the
have
problem
to.
with SAO, no, the problem with SAO is like if you do like, are we assuming Shinon here or which SAO deck? It
I think
changes a bit.
the biggest top end was Shinonya.
Because the thing with Shinon is first of all like money counter gets shut off for SAO, and when SAO commits to the Shinon play and they don't kill Bonnie Girl, they heal back down to 0 and then the game's over.
I think the problem with Bunny Girl in general, because so Bunny Girl was actually my most played deck this whole season. So I've been playing the deck the whole season just to consider it to play in London. But after playtesting it so many times, it kind of feels like you're because people tend to play so aggressively. You're actually like playing more reactive than reactive than proactive. And sometimes you can't grind out games, or like if you play against AOT, uh, shit happens, your thing gets winded, your 2-2 gets winded, you can't grind back, and that feels really bad about playing the game. Like
Yeah.
if I play a game, I really want to like make plays instead of like reacting to plays, you know?
Yeah, I think that's actually a really good point to touch on. So like I see Bunny Girl as like to like elaborate on Kuhn's point. Bunny Girl can probably do really well at BCS when you're playing against like people that don't know how to capitalize on where they can push for a damage lead. You see that all the time in Swiss when you're playing against people. Knowing when to push damage is like something that's actually really hard in this game. And Bunny Girl can do really well if opponent misses those opportunities, right? Because then they can have time to set up. When you're going to Worlds and people are just better on average, they're gonna just rush you if you're out a lot of climaxes or you're in a bad spot. And I don't think you'll ever be able to catch up being the Bunny Girl player, like Kuhn said. That's why it's low for the world event, like definitely low. Probably gets a bit better in local BCSs, but overall, just to sum it up, susceptible to rush. Standby being just not a damage pushing climax when damage pushing is just so valuable, and then the 2-2 not being that particularly incredible either. And the fact that a lot of the best decks have outs to the bodyguard board combo thing, or some decks just don't care. Bunny Girl is lower on our list for Worlds. Maybe it changes in like a BCS meta ranking or whatever, but for Worlds, definitely not a hot pick. Our S tiers. Let's just quickly. What's up?
The only like I think more or less like AOT and Konosuba have been like S tier for more or less the entire season, or like at least high tier for most people. Fate is a new one. We haven't had Fate in English. Like we had 0 tournaments with Fate, yet we still put it in S, and that's like obviously in part because we know the JP results. We know that it's like in Japan they agree that it's S tier, and I think most of the Western people agree that it's very high tier to S tier. And
80%, 80% vote, 80% vote. I think it's S tier. Yeah. So that's actually really high.
Yeah. Yeah. So that also translates over to English because it has like some like the matchup spread seems pretty good except for Konosuba being maybe. It's like Konosuba is like a bit awkward, but the rest of the matchup spread seems really good for Fate. So that's why it's here.
Well, my question to you is like Fate is missing the Heal 3 event, and I've tested a few games with Fate. Missing that card is actually kind of big. Now, there are some people who say that Heal 3 event's totally not needed. I've had so many spots still where I can't be 3-0 again, and then the Rider combo is just not as good because dying from 3-3 or 3-4 is possible when you're on your Rider comboing, but dying from 3-0 is impossible. How much do you think missing that card is going to affect this deck's performance?
You basically like replace the heal event with Ilya healers, I think. At least what like you at least run 5 healers probably in a deck. And I don't think it matters that much. It's gonna matter in some games where you like get put to where you like randomly eat shit for no reason, and then the 3-3 would let you stabilize again. But because you like don't have the 3-3, you just end up having to like heal back down to like 3-2, and then maybe you die from there. I think it matters a bit because like if it didn't matter at all, you wouldn't play the 3-3 event in JP. But it's not significant enough of a deterrent to like not play it. That the deck wouldn't be S tier anymore.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hey,
okay.
But guys,
it's not like the key feature.
Sorry.
Is I guess what I wanted to say. Yeah. Sorry.
Going aside from this, though, what are your thoughts on Konosuba for this season? Because I think, if I remember correctly, Konosuba didn't do so well.
Yeah,
I was
Konosuba
the
had
in-
like
I was the only one that won with Konosuba, and I think Konosuba only top 3 2 or 3 events.
hmm So, what are your guys' thoughts on that? Because I think this one, coming into this season, Konosuba was like the biggest boogeyman of the English meta, with people saying like, "Hey, they should like totally ban stocks off Fumio or whatever." But like, it didn't do so well. So, any thoughts?
so. I guess I'll start with why I didn't consider playing Konosuba, and it's in one part it was the price. I think the price prohibits many people from playing it, and I personally didn't play it because I think the deck is very. I don't want to use high roll, but the deck has a very random end game, and a lot of the game gets decided by like, does stock swap Fumio screw over the opponent, or does it like hand him a free win because you like stock swap zero climaxes, and then they just cancel everything, and you don't have anything in like brick and die. Because
But
so much of Konosuba's power is like tied to that stock swap event, and that's
but it
kind
is
of
rated very highly under the player, so I think it shouldn't matter too much. I'm
I
not
think
sure.
the main issue is the price. Like the Konosuba is absolutely ridiculous, and like not a lot. I don't think a lot of people actually had it. Like do you guys remember off the top of your head if Konosuba like ever had top rep at any event?
I think it
I
had
think in Cologne it had
in
like
Cologne
second
it had like
highest.
10. No, right? Third highest. I think like 10 players or so. That's quite a bit, since it's like a 600 euro deck.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it's like I think the results are more just indicative of like how many people were actually playing Konosuba at the event, and then on top of that, I think Konosuba isn't like the best Swiss deck per se. Like a lot can go wrong with like your unions. It's really easy to misplay every single
Oh,
turn, and you get punished super hard if you make any misplays.
oh,
So
that's true. Like most people don't know how to play the deck,
well,
like to not screw
I
themselves
wouldn't
over.
I wouldn't necessarily like frame it that way. I just
No,
think
like
it's like
most people
not.
don't know how to play their decks, and with Konosuba you can get punished more than with other decks.
I think I'd rather say it like It's really easy to make misplays with Konosuba, and the deck gets punished super hard if you make any misplays. So it that makes
Well,
it not so good in
it can
Swiss.
get punished.
do you guys think that so in NA there was like a lot of AOT winning the regionals, right? Do you think like AOT might have been like an influence why Konosuba hasn't topped much? Because I think people think AOT counters Konosuba,
I
right?
think it has a good matchup. I think it has a better
Yeah.
matchup
Yeah.
than like
So
other way around, right? Because Konosuba
Yeah.
like wins field at 2, so then you can get free reverses. It's like a pretty good thing for
Yeah, you can
AOT.
also contest them
yeah,
at
yeah.
two.
Yeah, it could also contest them at 2 with Aaron early play and everything. Like uh
Also, you
so
deny them the resources of the union, right?
yeah, there you go. Deny resource union, that's a big
Mhm.
deal. So if you just look at it on pure, but the thing is, the union, the Megami early play can actually kill the errands to get the bounce effect. So there's kind of a trade off there. It's actually pretty good to
Well,
deny
they
extra
need
plus.
double Mega Man to like
Yeah,
kill
no, I
one,
know.
which is like
But
whatever.
I think that if we talk about purely on financials, uh, AOT was also an extremely expensive deck. So people
it's
who
not.
have it, it was in its prime. It was
It was.
in its prime. It was.
Yeah,
It was
it's prime,
extremely
sure.
expensive. So these people who have it still, why would they shift? And the people who built AOT for it being good are probably people who care about playing the best deck.
Yeah.
But they have to. They cannot move to Konosuba, right? Because Konosuba is also super expensive. So I think the representation was just naturally higher in NA and stuff because people who have AOT, there's no reason to shift off to a different deck, right?
I don't think AOT was very high rep at all for most of the events. Actually,
Was it?
Yeah,
I thought
I
it was in
also
NA.
it just had a
I also-
ridiculous. It just had a ridiculous top
Conversion.
conversion.
yeah I
The
don't
top
remember
the
any
top
event
numbers,
having
the top
high
8
rep
numbers were decent. They weren't like that great, but the percentage of top 8 AOTs that won ended up winning was extremely high.
Oh, okay.
Actually, if there was one event in Europe, Cologne, where AOT was actually second highest rep, I think.
Yeah,
It
I think it was like
SAO,
SEO
AOT,
SEO
Konosuba.
AOT.
And the only AOT that actually made it to tops was Ian that bubbled
Yeah.
in, and he
Mhm.
won.
Shout outs to Ian TCG. Shout outs. Okay, so yeah, I was missing. I guess I misunderstood a bit on that, but I just think AOT 100%. Like I see a lot of tier lists going around online saying it's A tier, or even I seen tier lists that put in a B tier. Like you're actually just trolling at that point. Like I don't understand why people put it that low. It is always
there's like the blog by Weiss Schwarz Tea Time, I think, that like compiles the BCS stats, and she mentioned like part of it might also just be that a lot of the good players, let's say accomplished players in the game, think that AOT is a good deck, so they play the deck. So the deck like selects for itself, and that like good players play the deck, so the deck performs well.
That's fair. But you guys, none of you guys played AOT, so
yeah.
I suck on my AOT, dude. Fuck me. Deck sucks.
I'm like, we got second in Springfest with me on it with the team, but like my performance was horrible on AOT. But that was just like bad luck with the games. I just personally didn't play it because I wanted to play something different, and I enjoy playing ReZero more, I guess.
Sure. Okay, so any last words you guys want to put on? Just talk about our tier list. It's up here for you guys. If you guys have any questions about it, leave a comment. We don't want to make this video too long for you guys, but just in general, our discussion before this video, this is what we came up with in terms of a generalized tier list. Things that a lot of people might disagree on. Maybe we should just talk about this really briefly. It's how Bang Dream is only A and not S. Bang Dream is frequently on a lot of people's S tiers. Kuhn or Ryan, do you guys want to start? Just quickly touch on that. Why Bang Dream we didn't put in S?
So in my opinion, S tier decks are like meta defining, so people actually build around those kind of decks. And I didn't think Bang Dream was like that good to actually do that. But it is a very consistent and powerful deck. So that's why I only put it in A.
You don't think that Mocha is meta defining?
No.
Because I feel like the only decks that are still good are ones that can live through Mocha, like AOT with move gear, anything with a money counter.
No.
Yeah, you don't think Mocha's that crazy?
Konosuba can't do that, right?
Yeah, they can't.
No.
They just can't at all. But
I think Mocha has a strong card, but by no any means like it's broken or something.
Ironically, everything except Konosuba can like deal with Mocha in some capacity. So maybe that's why Konosuba didn't do well.
Yeah, Bang Dream actually has a really high play rate, by the way. So
yeah, Bang Dream has a really high play rate. So like also like Yukina kind of like you can play around foreclosure a bit with Yukina. Like if you do Yukina Kasumi field, like they can't use foreclosure.
yeah, and it's a pretty strong finisher board. Wait,
So,
right?
like,
That's two ping ones and two
ping
ping
one and
twos.
yeah. So I guess like Bang Dream being so popular and having a decent matchup into Konosuba might be one of the reasons why Konosuba didn't do so well.
But Bang Dream still not being the highest representation, but not S tier.
Yeah.
Kind of an interesting take, right? Do you just think the reason for its high representation is because of idols? Is that like the go-to argument for this?
It's idols, and I think it was also kind of accessible to people. It's not that expensive. It's like cheaper than the other top tier decks, and it's like.
I think SEO might also be cheap, but if you look back at the representation, I think.
It's also one note, real quick. It's way easier to justify spending money on Bang Dream than Sao, because you know they're gonna get future sets. It's like basically guaranteed, right? So even if the cards might be expensive, people can justify spending money on Bang Dream and Sao more than like AOT or Fate or Konosuba, because at this point, a future Bang Dream or Sao set is definitely more of a guarantee than a future set of any of those properties.
Well, Fate probably gets another set.
Who knows?
Dude, Fate guaranteed, man. Don't who knows this. Fate is.
I mean, we don't know. I mean, there's a precedent for future Fate sets not being not being compatible with previous cards.
Okay.
Like Apocrypha, right?
Yeah, okay.
So I think it's just way less.
Expansion.
Fate has way more spin-offs. There's not going to be as much mainline content as there is with Bang Dream and Sao. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, guys. Oh my goodness. I just realized something. We actually did not put Sunshine in this list. Oh my goodness. That's actually my bad. I am so sorry. Mainly because I think I think this deck is dog shit, but
I think it's A tier.
Fucking yikes, dude.
A
Yeah,
tier.
that,
Okay,
it's an
look.
A tier
Put
deck.
it in B. I'd put
Let
it in
me
B.
let me explain why my dog can take, like, if I fucking feed my dog in 20 minutes, it can poop out a Sunshine deck. Let me explain this to you. That deck actually does nothing, but sometimes it will just do damage at 2, and that's enough to win games in Weiss Schwarz. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think it's stupid. I think it's bullshit, and I think that deck has like no skill testing element to it. But yes, it is fairly strong. I think A or B is fair. So where do we just to clarify for the community, where do we put it? And I know this is a hot take. A lot of people think Sunshine's
A
OP.
I'd put it in B.
A tier.
Yeah, I'd put it in
Also
A
put
tier.
it in-
It's way too easy to play and way too strong for how easy it is to play.
Yeah, like the strength of the double early play with the Yo is just so absolutely absurd. It has to be an A tier deck.
Yeah.
Like,
I think part of the reason why I don't think it's that good is because it runs into like, I think most of the matchups with the decks that we put higher than it are honestly just not good matchups for the deck, because the deck is really susceptible to like getting bursted down because it never really compresses. And like SAO can burst out damage, Bang Green can burst out damage, Konosuba can burst out damage, AOT.
I actually don't agree with the compression argument, because like the deck really
the
doesn't
games are just
need
faster.
Yeah,
with
it's faster. Like
Sunshine.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
you can't-
neither player gets as compressed, right? So Sunshine doesn't have burst. Sunshine has like consistently more damage output with the Yos, but the other deck just bursts Sunshine down from 3 and they die from 3-0.
I mean,
That's at least what I've seen happen a lot in my games.
That's true. I don't disagree. Sunshine does die from
Yeah.
3-0 quite a bit. Tom, like, what do you think about this?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, most of the time you'll hit level 3 as they're like 3-4 or something. That just happens.
That's true.
With that deck.
That does happen. That is.
Yeah.
Does it actually happen?
Yeah,
Like,
of course it
is this-
does.
is this
If
like
we're gonna talk
Tuso
about-
or-
It'll
double-
consistently be ahead in damage. That's just what the
Chris,
deck does.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
double early play is like built around
okay, is
pushing
this
pushing
like
as much
talking
damage as
about-
possible.
okay,
The
so
OTK
is
decks
this-
like Konosuba and AOT, and maybe Bang Dream, depending on the variant, will do well against Sunshine. But like Fate, Sao, ReZero, I think all of these decks, it's more of a toss-up, and it's kind of, they're kind of they have to let Sunshine dictate the pace of the game a lot, because
I think
that's
Fate
just
is
how
actually-
Sunshine is.
Fate probably has like one of the worst matchups of the top tier. ReZero has like some lag just on the money on the anti-change counter being so strong for ReZero that like Sunshine is gonna have trouble actually using its main advantage. But like since you said like Sunshine consistently being ahead in damage, is this talking about two soul build or stock soul?
Any build.
Because stock
The,
soul
cons-
build
the stock soul build
can
it
fall
only has
behind.
the stock soul build only has matchup considerations where if people are building to beat the stock soul build, then the deck sucks. Like AOT obviously cleanly beats that build almost all the time because that deck just has no way to get advantage properly without the combo, right? But it's not like a damage thing. It's not an issue of damage. In fact,
the
like
block
Sunshine is a
trashing
unique
in-
Sunshine is a unique deck where damage at level 1 is actually very valuable, right? Because Sunshine, if it hits level 2 first, it's establishes its level 2 board before the other guy do anything about it.
Yeah, but if they
It's in a good position.
get it from like one, if they are like 1-5 because the opponent tri-filler or something, and then they have to do the combo, and then they like eat shit to like 2-5, then
I mean, sure, but they're not likely to eat shit at 2-5 in that scenario, anyways, right? They're gonna be more compressed in the second deck than most other decks are gonna be at that point, because it's a stock soul build. They salvage on it's like free advantage, right?
most of the decks here have free advantage except this.
Well, I'm just saying that it's gonna be more compressed if it gets hit to 1-5 early.
Sure. Okay.
All right.
Let's-
Hot discussion. Let's all right. You guys are fiery discussion. I was a little bit wet down here, but yeah, let's just wrap it up. We don't want to keep this video too long. You guys can look at this chart. This is what we think. You guys can ask us questions.
Put
Sunshine.
We're gonna talk about
either
Goblin
A or
Slayer?
B, wherever you want it.
Sunshine and A. Goblin Slayer won't be available for so it
I know.
doesn't really matter. In a separate video, we can touch on Goblin Slayer question and like where we think it will be. For the Worlds event only, everyone who's going to be there, Goblin Slayer is not going to be legal for that event. It doesn't matter at all. And Yeah, this is like a world's only kind of tier list.
Couple-
Anyways, guys, what's up?
Yeah.
What's up, Christian?
Just quick like thoughts. Goblin Slayer is gonna be good. It's not gonna be OP.
Yeah, cool. All right, so that's it for our tier list, and that's it for the video. We just wanted to, talk a little bit about Worlds, talk to each other a little bit. For some of us, it's our first times. For others, it's our third, fourth times going. So yeah, it's you guys excited? You guys excited? I guess just last question. Who's excited?
Yeah, I'm more excited for the trip than for Worlds itself. But yeah, I'm excited.
I think that goes for like everyone in this call. I guess like
Yeah.
we enjoyed the trip more than the tournament, but I guess we gotta play the tournament. And yeah.
I'm excited to be on the train again to talk to random strangers. I'll just let you guys know that. Okay. Anyways,
You
yeah,
we
so-
got the same hotel as last year, so you can like sleep on the floor again.
dude, I just want the breakfast, man. I'll just come. I'll stop by for the free breakfast. It was
Hey,
so
but
good.
you're gonna vlog, right? So
Yeah, I'm vlogging. Yeah, so yeah, I just want to let you guys know that I'm vlogging. Strictly Vlogs is coming back. It's gonna start with the Japan trip, and then after we come back, we're gonna vlog the whole transition and building of our new giant, enormous card shop. It's gonna be amazing. But lastly, Ryan, are you excited? How excited are you on a scale of 1 to 10, man?
Like for Japan or for the tournament?
By both.
Probably like an 8 for Japan, and like a 7 for the tournament.
Cool. 7 for the tournament. That's pretty good. Well, I mean, I'm excited to see you win, man. So not only are you representing NA, you're representing.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see NA beat EU. For,
Hell yeah, dude.
Ryan is NA's biggest hopes.
duh.
Whoa, come on, man. Come on. I mean, he is sponsored by Strictly, so I hope he wins, but there are a lot of good NA. Don't do this to us. All right, guys. Sorry for the little bit of a cut. We had a little bit of some technical difficulties, but it's during the wrap-up anyway, so it's okay. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys like this kind of content, definitely leave a comment. We're happy to do more, and this time was kind of last minute, trying to just like tell you guys that we're excited for the new years. Our team is excited for Worlds and everything. But in the future, we can do more of these if you guys like it. So, yeah, any last word, guys, before we sign off? Any shout-outs? Any last minute things?
I have
Go.
one.
Okay.
You should buy your play sets from Strictly Broken.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell sex. I want to shout out Jesh. I want to shout out Jesh for always being there for sex.
Nice. Alright. Peace out.
Any shout outs? Wait, no, do you guys have shout outs? You guys have
I
shout
don't
outs?
really have shoutouts, I think.
Ryan?
I will shout out ENTCG.
Yeah, shout out to ENTCG.
What? Oh yeah, guys, download the app. It's actually it actually doesn't run on my phone, but it's apparently pretty good. I good thing. So, but it doesn't actually run on my phone. Feels bad. Ian, can you fix that for me, please? Thanks. Yeah. Leave a comment, subscribe, go to the Strictly Broken TCG website, Twitter, Instagram, everything, all in the description below. Ciao. I know you'll see somehow the world will change for me and be so wonderful.
I already started, so you know.
All right. Calm down, boy. All right. Calm down, man and Christian.